my first price target for Gala in 2025 is Gala at the price of 50 cents. And now, of course, that's not financial advice, but why do I think so? By the way, this is my worst case price target scenario. And the reason for that is because I think Gala represents something very special. Yeah, sure. When it comes to the Gala ecosystem overall, there's Gala Film, Gala Music, they're focused on the metaverse. But I think that right there is just kind of supplemental, right? That's kind of like the appetizer. The main course, the real deal, in my opinion, is going to be Gala Games and the Gala chain. And of course, Gala chain is Gala's very own layer 1 blockchain. And now, I first do want to talk about Gala Games because I think it's very amazing. It's very underrated. A lot of people, they seem to think it's bad, but I disagree because when we take a look at a lot of gaming projects out there, right? Some of them have very good quality games. That can't be denied. But most often than not, they lack the quantity. Other projects out there, they have a lot of quantity. That's good. But what's the point if all the games are complete caca? It's very rare. We find a project that's not only focused on quantity, but also focused on the quality. And I think that right there is what really sets Gala Games apart, because it does feel like there's always new projects popping up focused on blockchain gaming. But even up until right now, it's very rare we see something like Gala Games, which again, right, not only has the quality, but has the quantity as well. That right there is Gala's unique selling point. I mean, when it comes to Gala Games, they're just changing the space overall. And keep in mind, they're potentially revolutionizing a market that could be worth over $300 billion over the next 6 years. And that's not a joke, by the way. The blockchain gaming market by 2030 is expected to be worth over $300 billion, according to Grandview Research. So that right there, I think, is amazing. When it comes to Gala Games, they're entering at the perfect time. They're entering very early when there isn't really that many good competitors out there, especially when you consider, again, right, the diversity and quality of Gala Games. And also on top of that, blockchain gaming just overall, it hasn't really popped off yet. So Gala Games, again, they're quite essentially a pioneer. They're entering at the perfect time so that when, blockchain gaming does take off, they'll be there to catch the wave, so to speak. They're going to go along with the ride. And now I do want to take a look at Gala Chain, which again is Gala's very own layer 1 blockchain. Now, some people, they don't like this, but I think it's very fantastic because when you take a look at it, right, the Gala Chain has over 30,000 active nodes and it even has over 400,000 assets minted already. So I think it's a great addition to the Gala ecosystem overall. I think that's very fantastic. And man, Gala, they just keep improving and improving. Now, granted, there has been some issues when it comes to Gala Games that can't be denied. For instance, some issues regarding some Vox team members leaving. And because of this, everyone thought that, oh, wow, is Voxverse going to be done for? And Voxverse, by the way, is a metaverse that, of course, could be so huge for the future of Gala. So everyone thought that, wow, this is so bad. But, the project is moving on. So who really cares about that? I mean, they leave, so what, right? We'll find new people to join the Vox team. But besides that point, we take a look at also some ongoing, reports not too long ago of some Gala team members, lawsuits against each other, whatever, high school drama, who really cares about that? I mean, the typical person who likes Gala, they don't even really know about that. And I think that, in the future, a year, 2 years, everyone's going to forget about it. Once Gala pops off during this bull run, everyone won't even really care about that. And again, right, the fundamentals didn't change. It's not like it's caca. You take a look at Gala Chain, you take a look at Gala Games. Man, I mean, what bad thing happened, right? So what if the team members are having some, sleepover drama? Who really cares about that, man? We care about the fundamentals, and Gala, in my opinion, has A+ fundamentals, and it's focused on the right market, in my opinion. So Gala at the price of 50 cents, I don't see why not. I think it's that amazing during the peak of this bull run, of course. And now I do want to take a look at the next price target for Gala, and that is Gala at the price of 75 cents. Now, do I think that this is realistic for something like Gala during the peak of this bull run? Yes, because if Gala were to go to the price of 75 cents, considering its current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $22.7 billion. Let's say, right, for simplicity's sake, we say it's $23 billion. Really isn't all that crazy. We take a look at SHIB's all-time high market cap, around $40 billion. Doge was around $88 billion. So this really isn't all that much, in my opinion. 22 billion approximately, again, right? Yeah, I should say, for simplicity's sake, 23 billion really isn't all that unheard of, especially when it comes to something like Gala, which I think the major driving force is going to be Gala Games. And again, right, Gala Games potentially revolutionizing the blockchain gaming market. I don't see why not. Now, of course, Gala, it may not have the fans that SHIB and, something like Doge may have. But again, right, when you have a project which could potentially revolutionize the blockchain gaming market, really, I don't think 75 cents is too much to ask for something like Gala. It's just a matter of time, though. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not going to say it's going to happen next week. I think it's going to happen during the peak of this bull run. Now, of course, that's all financial advice, but as to when the peak of the bull run is going to happen, I'm going to get to that a little bit later on in the video. But again, right, I don't think 75 cents is a tall order. I don't think it's too much to ask for. And now, I do want to take a look at my most bullish case price target scenario for Gala. That is Gala, of course, at the price of $1. Everyone wants Gala to go to the price of $1, and so do I. And I think in a most bullish case scenario, again, right, I could very well see it happening because as of right now, more institutional investors than ever before, more blockchain adoption than ever before, and also investors that are smarter than ever before as well. Back in 2021, people just generally speaking, they didn't even really know what they were doing when it comes to the crypto space. They were investing in random projects, which they didn't even really know what they were all about, right? Let's face it. But as of right now, because of the boring years that we saw in 2022, 2023 with the bear market, with the prices going down, all that type of nonsense. Now, 2023 wasn't as boring as 2022, but it wasn't that exciting, right? Now, 2024, things are starting to pick up again. Everyone, they had a lot of time to research, right? Those 2 years. They researched about blockchain gaming projects. They researched what Gala was all about. So the community of Gala, it just kept growing by the day. Now, of course, it's not grown as much as some AI projects out there or some, meme coin project. But the reason is because blockchain gaming, it hasn't really gotten its mojo back yet, so to speak, right? It hasn't gotten its groove back, but it's just a matter of time. And keep in mind, the FOMO, or the potential FOMO, I should say, during the peak of this bull run, it could be ridiculous because as of right now, nearly 600 million crypto owners, nearly double when compared to the peak of the 2021 bull run. So that's crazy if you ask me, right? 2021, the bull run was already that insane. Now that you have more crypto owners than ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research. And when you have more crypto owners, in my opinion, than ever before that are knowledgeable actually about projects just overall and what blockchain gaming is all about, when you combine all of that, really, I think the sky's the limit for something like Gala during the peak of this bull run. I mean, it could be ridiculous. So $1 for Gala, I could very well see it happening. I don't see why not. Now, again, I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow because I do believe that the peak of the bull run could happen in the very near future. Now, when I say the very near future, some people, they may think that when I'm about to explain what I want to say, they may think that, it's not that short, right? It kind of seems like a long time. But if people have believed in Gala ever since 2021, this won't seem like a long time because, as we all know, Bitcoin halving event very recently happened, right? Happened this month. Now, historically, altcoins, they've reached their peak anywhere between either half a year, 6 months, or a year and a half, 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. So when you take that into consideration, altcoins, generally speaking, they could very well reach their peak either October of this year, which is, of course, the best case scenario, or 18 months after right now, which is October of next year in 2025. Again, that may seem like a long time. But again, if you've been in the crypto space ever since 2021, generally speaking, right, a lot of people have been, then it won't really seem like that long. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to use the most worst case scenario example, 18 months. I'm not going to use, the best case scenario, 6 months. Let's say 12 months. Let's say middle ground, right? That's potentially a year from now for Gala to truly showcase what it's capable of, which I think is not too much to ask for. I mean, keep in mind, we're nearing the finish line at this point, right? It makes no sense to give up right now. Now, of course, this isn't financial advice, but just imagine if someone runs a marathon. Let's say the marathon is a 10-mile marathon. They run 8 to 9 miles and they give up suddenly. Makes absolutely no sense, in my opinion. Why not quit at the first mile, second mile, right? Now, of course, never quitting would be better, but why quit, near the finish line? Makes no sense. So we're nearing the finish line, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. And if anything, it's actually more time for me to dollar cost average into Gala because I've been dollar cost averaging into Gala ever since 2021. So when all the FUD happened, 2022, 2023, all that type of nonsense, what did I do? I kept sticking it through. I just kept accumulating more and more on a consistent basis anytime I earn income. As a matter of fact, one of my very first YouTube videos ever was about Gala. So you got to think about that, right? I've been believing in Gala for a very long time, and I'm just going to keep accumulating more and more on a consistent basis. I'm going to acquire, I'm going to hold, and I'm just going to wait for the peak of the bull run. I'm not one of those, what I like to call triangle drawers, right? Some people out there, they make a video on Gala, they draw a random triangle. I don't know what they're trying to draw, their grandma's G-string or thong or something like that. It's like, it don't makes no sense. And they see, wow, bull flag, cup and handle, double 69, standing 69. It's like, dude, no one really cares about that. I'm not going to use leverage. A lot of my friends who do that, they get absolutely wrecked. Now, some people, I guess they say it works, but personally, I've never really seen it. So why even bother with that? I just like to keep it simple. I just acquire, I hold, and I just wait for the peak of the bull run. That's it. I like to keep things simple. Again, Gala at the price of $1 during the peak of this bull run. I don't see why not. I think it's that fantastic. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also on top of that, make sure to check out this very fantastic video. I think you all would really love it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.